the things that attracted you to her are the things that are now your boundaries that you want to change because you're in the relationship. So I don't know. I feel like people really need to date their types. Date your type.
That way you won't have. If you date your type, then you're not gonna have as many boundaries or as many problems with them.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy. Wagwan, Advocate Amanda here. Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks. Hi, and welcome to As Told by Us, the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side.
But from where we're standing, our grass is green. Subscribe, like, share, comment down below.
Hi everyone, welcome to As Told by Us. By this time we should be almost halfway through our first season, so episode 5, episode 6, thereabouts. Yeah, and I think at this point, we just want to say thank you for listening, y'all. We've been getting quite a lot of reviews. People are continuing the conversation online and all of that. We'd love to hear from you. Today's episode is inspired by someone who came through in the DMs and said, guys, we want more chats. We want the tea. Can you discuss the mess that is dating in Zimbabwe and relationships and all that jazz?
A mess.
It's a mess.
A mess.
It's a disaster.
Catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe. So yeah, that's what we'll be discussing today. But I think for context, I think it's important because this is Zim stories, Zim girls, a Zim guy. You'll hear him just now. Zim stories, some guys, some girls talking about relationships in Zimbabwe. It's good to have a context as to what we'll be discussing today. So guys, why is the dating scene such a shit show? Mind my French. Do you have any experiences? Do you know what the hell is going on? Why are millennials having such a hard time with this one?
Okay, I think I'll start and say that I think people are probably dating for the wrong reasons. I mean, I get when you're dating in your 20s or whatever, you're just having fun and all that stuff. But then where do you draw the line? At what stage do you draw the line to say, well, I'm no longer just dating for fun. I'm now dating with the intention of being in a committed and serious relationship with someone or finding a life partner. So I feel like it's a mess now because maybe we just don't know why we're dating.
I just think it's a mess because it's a mess. I don't think people are dating to find a person. I think people are dating to find people. So not a person, but many people. So you'll find that married people are still dating. Right? So
damn,
it's not like you're dating to be committed. So now once I find my person, then I'll stop dating. Married people in the club are out here still looking for people to date. So no one's looking for a person anymore. I think I don't know if we being people in society, social media has made dating feel like it's cool and you need to date as many people as possible, or no one wants to be committed anymore. I don't know what the problem there is. I just know that no one is looking for, or people, not no one, but people are, a lot of people are not looking to be stable, to be in one relationship. Either they're afraid that they will get hurt by whoever they're with, so why not hedge my risk and date many people? Or it's just not cool anymore to be in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah, I think the big problem is that our value systems have drastically changed in light of social media, internet dating. There's just this depersonalization of people that has happened to the extent that none of us are actually in real life anymore. There's now just this savage culture of like cutting off. We don't value the simpler things of just like having someone, patience, vulnerability. That's you don't do that anymore. Everyone is just like savage. And I think it's a bit misleading though, because you'll find that there are some people who are not living that way, but the popular culture is like pushing us to these things. Like I remember seeing a TikTok recently where this girl said, that point of view, you let social media influence you to the extent that she like broke up with her boyfriend because he
I saw that.
like I think buying her stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on realized that, oh no, this was actually a good person, but then I just kind of let the hype. And I think that's what's been happening. I mean, Kiki Palmer.
My girl Kiki!
I think that's a good example of where we are now.
Yeah.
Because the internet streets are attacking relationships left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I think there isn't enough of people, kind of getting out of that space and being like real people and discussing their issues. Now it's just like one tiny issue. Oh, dump him, sis. Red flag.
Yeah.
Dump him, sis.
Okay, but Darius needed to be dumped.
Agree.
Darius needed to go. Darius had to go. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I think
a bit
it's
more nuanced.
and it's also easy. It's easy to say something from the outside.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
When you
true.
don't even know, like, what are his boundaries? Did he tell Kiki, this is what I prefer my girlfriend to wear? And then that day she was like, they had a fight and she left and she said, I'm going to show you what's up. You never know, like, the nuances behind that post because it was so random. We're like, you're a mother though. What's going on?
I have a conspiracy theory. I think they had already broken up, ne? And then she had blocked him and she wasn't responding.
So he
then did that as to get her attention. That's what I think.
Hilarious.
Because if we look at when he started deleting her from his Insta and all of that was way before Asha. It had nothing to do with Asha. But then now my girl was like blocked, deletes, and then he was like, but you're a mother though. Shut up.
Wow. Hectic.
Hi guys, I am the first male voice on this podcast. I would have to put like a young witness protection filter on this one, depending on how this goes. But yeah, what's up, good people? I don't even know if I want to expose who I am. I just want to be a mysterious person.
Yeah, you can just be a mysterious male voice.
Okay, I'm the mysterious male voice. Let's go with that.
Triple M, MMV.
Mysterious velvet. Okay.
I like that. Let's go with that. NMV. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, MMV?
I think people forget the basics that it's girlfriend, boyfriend. They forget the friend part. That before we go, I think we jump to our expectations, our hurt, our pain, before actually understanding are we friends first of all with this person? Because you're not always gonna be feeling butterflies in the relationship. There's always going to be turbulence. This is just how life goes, So it's really the friendship that keeps you guys afloat. So if already you're getting into the situation and you have all these expectations and you're going nah, I have a point to prove, and you don't even view this person as a friend, and it's basically maybe just dates or sex or, you know, and you're not actually fostering that basic connection and that friendship, it's bound to crumble. Because, you know, as Amanda said, there's like all these memes like attacking relationships like daily, you know, we have all these situations going on. So it actually makes people very skeptical and puts them in this like fight or flight sort of zone instead of actually just being human. So my 2 cents, MMV.
But also, I agree with Amanda, and I also agree with MMV, because what, for example, I look for in a relationship might not always be what Amanda's looking for, might not be what Chido's looking for, might not be what Nessie's looking for, right? And so before you enter into the dating pool, I think it's important that you decide what you're looking for. Are you just looking for just a companion, just someone to go on dates with, someone to hang out with? Are you looking for a serious relationship that will lead to marriage? What is it that you're entering this relationship for? Then what are the values that you're going to attach to this relationship? So is it a friendship? Is it respect? Is it honesty? Is it vulnerability? What is it that you're looking for from that person? And then also, who are you in that relationship, right? Because then once you know all of those things, it won't matter what social media is. So if you're looking for money, that's also your reason to date, right? And then you can say, anyone who doesn't have money, anyone who doesn't fly me out, anyone who doesn't buy me this, that, and the other, that's fine. And then if you're not looking for money and you say, you know what, for me, money doesn't really matter. What I care about is the character of the person, the personality of the person, then you won't be railroaded by social media because you know what your value system is. But when you don't know, you're going with the flow, you're going with the wave, and everybody's pushing you in every direction. So each time you see a TikTok, each time you see a tweet, you're like, oh, but my man doesn't do that. So he's gone. Right. But if you have a good, solid value system, even if he doesn't do that, but he does the things that you want, then you're fine.
Yeah. I think that goes well with like the next question, which is like boundaries. So, yeah, there's been like lots and lots and lots of like drama concerning relationships, and like Amanda said, we're like inundated by information. What should you do when you're like this in this relationship? What is expected of men? What's expected of women? And all of that jazz, right? And there's been like several instances where we can use Kiki Palmer's example, where there's the women's side and the men's side. And people are saying a woman should do this, 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 and this, and a man should do this, 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 and this. And those are like boundaries that people have set there in the virtual world. So I want to know, like, as a young person in the dating scene, like, what are your boundaries in terms of dating, like casual dating, if there is any casual dating, serious relationships, and all of that jazz? Do you have any boundaries? I'll start.
Yeah, please.
But this is more like examples from like a time where I was trying to get to know certain people, and I was just like, I can't really, I can't say yes to these boundaries. They seemed a bit wild to me, but hey, you might think they're okay. So one boundary that I've heard lots of guys say is the whole, when you become someone's girlfriend, then you have to cut off certain people from your life.
Love.
So you can't have any guy friends anymore. If you have like a specific set of friends, are they single? If they're single, they might like try and influence you. So you need to, he basically then regulates how you interact with people. And I was like, this is not flying.
No.
Kuda says, hell no.
Don't tell me who I can be friends with. You know what? To be fair, I also feel like relationships are compromise. First, tell me what makes you uncomfortable about these people, right? So I have a lot of guy friends. So if your issue is you feel like they will hit on me or you feel like our relationship is inappropriate, right? Then maybe it's something that I also have to look into, because maybe sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you don't know that if this person is important to me and I want to make them comfortable, right, then maybe a conversation may be had with my guy friends. I don't know, depending on how I feel. And we see, sometimes our interactions can be misconstrued. Right. So sometimes you may have to have a conversation with your friend and say, listen, my person feels uncomfortable when, I don't know, I sit on your lap or something. Then that's a conversation that can be had, right? And there's some things that can be changed. But if you are just, I don't like them because I don't like them, then sorry, this is my friend. I'm not getting rid of them, but what we need to do is compromise.
Granted.
I think there's this aspect of control that happens in certain situations where people have certain insecurities before they get into a relationship, and they maybe these dudes view like the other guys as like a threat, and like male interactions are very like sometimes you can just see the way someone's moving and you're just like, yo, like that's disrespectful. And sometimes the woman doesn't see that, like, your friend is like making moves. But then it's also a nuance, and it depends on situations, because it can't be just off the bat cut off everyone. It's just unrealistic. You also have to live in the real world. People are gonna hit on your girlfriend. It just happens.
Yeah, the guys don't understand that.
It's just a reality.
It makes you feel for you though. When someone hits on your girlfriend, aren't you like, actually, my girl's a baddie?
Yeah. You have to like be realistic. It goes both ways. Like, do I have to also cut off every female, in my life because we're in this relationship? It's just unrealistic, because I think there's also a level of maturity that's needed for this Njolo thing.
Before you go forward, before everybody else goes forward, can I just ask, if you are still friends with an ex, right? I don't know who, I am, but I don't know who are friends with exes. And then you bring in a new person. So now we know we're both friends, nothing's happening, right? Then you start dating someone new, right? Do you disclose the fact that this friend is an ex?
There's a lot of things that come up there, Kuda. Firstly, you and then you bring in somebody else. Already for me, that's the red flag. Because you're saying your friendship with your ex, and then your new relationship is
bringing someone in.
Is bringing somebody in. And now you're asking whether or not you're going to tell this new relationship that, you know my friend Steve? Yeah, we used to date, but it's cool. Don't worry about Steve. We're just friends.
We're just friends, yeah. It goes to the he's just a friend context where the guy is like, oh, will this ever really be just a friendship? It's very difficult. I just I'm not friends with my exes. I think it just makes things very difficult for me. Firstly, to move on, and secondly, it's awkward when that conversation comes now, where you're like, should I tell him? He's going to know Harare or Zimbabwe is very small. So at some point, he's going to be told, you guys are cool, you guys are tight, but that man used to date your girlfriend. What's up with that? So it's tricky. It's a difficult one.
I think, honesty shouldn't be underrated, especially in relationships, especially if we're talking about, if you're seriously dating somebody. I think certain things don't lie. You can be with your ex and say what you will, but, everyone has that instinct. If you see your person with somebody, you can just kind of see or feel a vibe that something is happening. And I think the worst part is, it's inevitable that they're going to find out or perceive it somehow. It's going to come up. But the worst part is now them not hearing that from you.
Yeah.
That's just already going to create a situation of paranoia and distrust in your relationship. And so for me, it's like, what's the point? Because now they're always going to have in the back of their mind that, but this person is moving like this with their ex and lying about it. And I'm, already, I think that's where the problems start. Because then now, instead of addressing those very sensitive concerns, because no one wants to say, oh, I feel insecure about your friend and all that stuff. What do they want to say? They want to blast you for the dress that you're wearing. But really, he's saying that, oh, I'm feeling a little jealous that you are vibing with Asha on Instagram. But then now it's going to be about everything else. And then I don't know. Then I don't get what everyone is doing at the end of the day, because we're running away from the truth. Yeah. Yeah, and then also on boundaries, just to answer your question, Anesu, I feel like some of these words that we use now almost mean nothing anymore, because people just say boundaries when they're actually just trying to control.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing someone saying you need to distinguish between a boundary and a preference, because there's like, okay, I prefer girls who dress modestly, or I prefer this kind of Han, right? But then you're not going for that kind of Han, you're going for baddies.
The opposite.
The things that attracted you to her are the things that are now your boundaries. That you want to change because you're in the relationship. So, I don't know, I feel like people really need to date their types.
And date your type.
That way you won't have, if you date your type, then you're not going to have as many boundaries or as many problems with them.
Okay, but if my type is a baddie, right, and I'm dating a baddie, and then my baddie goes to be baddie in the streets, what do I do? Because I liked her when she was a baddie. I wanted her when she was a baddie. But now she's out on a girl's night and she's dressed like a baddie and she looks like a baddie, and I'm not there to control who comes at her. What do I do?
That's where trust comes in.
I was about to say.
So you have to trust your person. I want to give an extreme example, since we're on this topic. There's this is he a podcaster? Well, okay, he does podcasts and OnlyFans and a lot of things. His name is Adam22. Right? So this Adam22 guy, he I think he recently got married, and basically him and his wife, they do porn, right? And I think 2 weeks after they announced their marriage, she actually posts oh, I'm so excited to do this scene with this new guy, what. And everyone goes hey, bruh, can you see the way your wife is moving, bro?
Yeah.
And he's hey, man, I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Because they actually do it together. They actually have a podcast where they invite people. I'm not going to go into details, but they invite people and do a lot. But
wait, MMV. You say they do a lot.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
On the podcast. So the guest.
Is it a video podcast?
It's a video podcast.
Ooh, that's
only available on OnlyFans.
Shout out Adam22.
So everyone was calling him they were calling him all sorts of names. They're hey, yo, are you okay with your wife getting smashed and what? It's hey, bro. This is we're getting their money. I don't know what your problem is. This is my person. He's totally happy with it. Even bought a Lamborghini recently. Just congratulate her on the scene that people actually dragging for. So it really depends on the people involved and their temperament and their trust level and their comfort level. Because even in extreme scenarios, those fundamentals keep people together apparently.
I mean,
it goes back to what I was saying before, where you actually don't know what people have decided about their lives and their relationship and what they have decided to do with their relationship. So it gets difficult now when we're living in a surveillance sort of society where everyone has their point of view about how you should live your life and who should be forgiven, who shouldn't be forgiven. And we try to act like the judge. But at the end of the day, if we are sex workers and that's our profession and this is what we do and this is what's keeping the lights on in our households and people are coming and they're being invited and we're getting sponsorships, then hey, what can we do? By all means.
How do you guys think that you actually get there to that point? Are you pro or against having relationships in private / secret? Because I think it's a bit important to have some time, where your relationship is between the two of you, so that you can actually establish things between the two of you. Because it's so easy to get derailed, especially when you're in the spotlight, like a lot of these couples that we're talking about. I saw recently with this girl Hattie. Did you guys see it? Her boyfriend also.
Oh, he had like some lyric.
A Z-list celebrity, which is also another thing. Yeah, he writes some song about how he's uncomfortable about her in the movies, and he's feeling insecure and jealous that she's like holding hands and doing like press things for
in the movies.
She's
an actress.
The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Keep going.
To be honest, I think I agree with you that in this day and age, particularly when you have like a new relationship, and I think if you value that relationship, you're gonna keep it to yourself a bit, even for just like a couple of months until you figure out how you two are, like your dynamics and stuff, how to communicate, so that when you go and meet friends or whatever, there's inevitably there's people who are not going to be pro your relationship all the time. But then if you take that time before you kind of come out the closet with your relationship, that way I think you'll be stronger together to be able to face whatever kind of criticism or whatever, even like putting it out there on social media, That's also another thing of like, if you post your man on Twitter or whatever, and the next thing people are in DMing you to say, I know your man's, he was wherever last week with some other girl. It's like already, a lot of noise again. So I think there is a benefit to, keeping it to yourself. I think some of the like good things in life, there's some things that you should be able to just keep to yourself and then expose it to the world when you feel like you're ready to, to face whatever comes.
I think there's a difference between secret and private. I think secret to me means no one knows I'm in a relationship. I don't want anyone to know this person exists. I don't want anyone to know that I'm with a person. You may not know who that person is, but I don't even want anyone to know that I'm with a person at all. And I think that's dangerous in the sense that allows you to continue moving mad in the streets, right? Because you are in the streets pretending to be single, right? But private is people know you're in a relationship. You act like you're in a relationship, but you don't. What's that word when you tell people that who you're in a relationship with, maybe, for example, or the day-to-day things that happen in your relationship. I think that the details of it doesn't really matter, but the fact that you are in a relationship and people know that you're in a relationship and you in the streets, when somebody comes, especially as Hans, right? Someone will come, always they'll hit on you. And if you say, oh, no, I'm free, I'm single, you portray being single when you're not, or maybe in your mind you are, but but you've told somebody else that you're not. I don't know. But sometimes, when you have to ask someone says, oh, I'm not in a relationship. And then you ask, okay, but who thinks they're in a relationship with you? Because sometimes you're walking around saying, I'm not, but somebody's out there thinking we're together, right? So that for me is a secret. You're moving around saying one thing and then doing another thing. So definitely private and secret for me are two separate things. And I think privacy is important. You should always keep the details of your relationship to yourself or to a very close group of people. And I'm also one of those people, right? If your person, so you guys are my friends, if your person does something, you've ruined that person for me, right? So if you come and tell me, my man did this, that, and the other, my first thing is I'm fighting him, right? So then tomorrow you're with this person again, I will never look at that person the same. So just don't tell me. Because now you've ruined my relationship with this person. And I can say, oh, you know what, Amanda, I guess she likes this person, she loves this person, she wants to be this person. I can understand why you're with this person. But for me, I will never look at them again, the same again. So rather just keep it to yourself. Because first of all, me and your person are fighting. And then you have to be put in the middle of it. And that's not cute. That's not cute at all. Now I'm fighting your person and then now you're mad at me, but you're the one that told me. So what do we do?
I think it really depends because I'm sort of the type of person who's like I like celebrating things and I like showing off my person.
No,
and
that's cute.
But then yes, it's there's stages to it. It doesn't start off like that. It's a gradual progression to where you get to the point where you're comfortable to share because there's a lot of ops in the streets. And sometimes it's just really about where you guys are at your relationship, and it's not like a because I always think about these YouTube couples and these TikTok couples and how do they make time for themselves, yet having to share so much of their lives like in these vlogs.
And then they break up and then now we're all invested.
You know?
What happened? What happened?
Not only invested, entitled. It's like, what was your relationship?
We need to know.
You can't break up.
How did you break up? What happened?
We need to know. So I guess, like with Amanda's question about secrecy and privacy, that leads to my biggest problem with our culture now. And that's just like normalizing cheating. So the dark side of keeping like your relationship secret and to yourself is that, like what Kudo was saying, the other one party can be moving mad and you're there thinking, oh, this person loves me, this person does this. So just to tie in all the themes that we've been talking about, I want to use like a personal experience.
Sure.
So there, small me.
How old were you?
Me. I think I'd just started uni, like first year of uni. How old were we? Like 18, 19, thereabouts. We were kids, bro.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I hadn't like dated to that extent. So
Is that high school?
it's uni, 18, 19.
First year is like 19.
This is 13
I'm
when you
just
go
trying to
school,
figure out
right?
who this person was. Sorry.
Okay.
Keep going.
I think Amanda and she don't know, but
I almost fought this man here.
You see what I'm saying? Don't tell your friends, bro.
I almost fought here.
anyways, I just want to tie in all of the things we've been discussing. So this whole like secrecy versus privacy thing, if it's a boundary coming from someone, then you need to be a bit wary of it, and it should actually be a red flag. So if you see someone saying, we're in a relationship, but I don't want anybody to know right now. I don't want anyone to interfere in what we're doing right now. What else do they say?
It's a scam.
The
whole thing.
It's a scam. It's a scam. So I think you need to just find like a balance, find a way to, I guess when you start dating someone, find a way to like expose that person. So I would say introduce that person to your friends.
Yeah.
Introduce that person to the circle that's around you. So you know, are they dating someone? Because people are so quick to say, I'm single, I'm not dating anyone. I'm talking to this girl, she's an ex, she's crazy. She's an ex, she's crazy.
It's the gaslighting.
All of that jazz. So you just need to be careful. So when you just try and like, you know, see, okay, is this person dating someone? So I found myself in a situation where I'm actually still not sure because the person was the person was a pathological liar. So I'm actually not sure at what point did my relationship start? At what point did his ex his other relationship end, and at what point did it begin again? I don't know. No
Or did it even end?
end at all. So
Okay.
it's just, yeah.
Would you trust someone who says, listen, I'm in a relationship, but it's ending, and I'm going to end it in tomorrow or in next week?
No.
So can we start dating? Maybe not like seriously, but let's start dating and then see where it goes. But I'm telling you upfront that I'm with someone else at the moment, but I'm not happy in it and I'm planning on leaving.
No.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would you say
that would
break
end
up with them
badly.
first? And then come
No,
back?
I would be thinking in my head, now because of that experience, I'm so quick to think, what kind of man are you who's talking to me
Yes.
when you're in a
Relationship.
seemingly very serious relationship with someone else? So it's very like, are you going to do this to me as well? After I've said, yes, go break up with her, go do this. Is this going to be a situation that I'm going to be stuck in at some point?
Yeah.
Because if he does it with you, he'll do it to
You.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us your story again. I mean, I'm just.
So now I don't know like timelines and all of that. So we finished our first, I think it was like our first semester or something. We go on holiday. This man now posts, this seemingly very private man starts posting his girlfriend. And I'm like, wait, that's not me. Who's this lady now? He posts her everywhere. My girlfriend, I love you. I'm like, what? What is going on? I ask him, what's this now?
I think it is.
Yes!
This is the beginning.
in the beginning.
So he's like, no, what did he say? He's like, no, I've gone back to my ex. At no point was this a discussion between us.
So he didn't break off with you. He just
No,
said,
I've gone back to my ex. And I was like, okay, then that means I'm no longer your girlfriend, right? So when we went back to school, I wasn't his girlfriend. I was living my best life. I was jabularing with my friends, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like, to an extent, that was another question I wanted to ask you. When someone cheats on you, is there a sense of, let me forgive this person?
No.
Is there a sense of, this person, we are young, he's growing, he seems like he's repenting, let me give it another chance. So time moved by and then he seemingly broke up with this girl. Then he came back to me and asked for forgiveness.
No.
Sadly, I forgave, guys.
No.
Because you know him. We did date for later on, but unfortunately, when I say it taught me a lesson, he then cheated again.
Oh.
And then he expected me, because I had set the precedent. I had said, it's okay. I've forgiven you. These things happen. Let's move on. He thought it was going to be the same the next time. And it wasn't.
Amen.
I blocked him and everything. And he started harassing Chido. Hey, Chido, please talk to your friend. I got phone calls from like family members I didn't even know about. Please.
Family members.
Yeah. So that's another discussion for another day. Gaslighting and all of that. Yeah, but like that's my question. Like, how do you deal with cheaters? Have you ever been cheated on? Have you ever forgave a cheater? Have you yourself cheated? Because, that's also a thing. You can be a villain in someone else's story.
I think in that scenario, though, like that was now blatant disrespect.
Right?
It was really disrespect. You see, maybe this is survival tactics, dealing with niggas. Oh, no one.
Why do you do it as men?
Yo, the thing is, at that age especially, like, okay, to be honest, dudes move mad at any age, so I'm not going to say. But then, first year, it also depends on exposure levels. Like, there's a lot of things that go through a dude's mind at that point in time. But then, I guess, like, if he's got multiple options, you should just see at the beginning the way the interactions are. Those questions you were asking, like, where it's like, you're always going like, let's keep this a secret, red flag. Mm-hmm. Red flag, don't even play yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's no hope. You know what? Like, there's this thing where you just have to also, just as a human being, and as you're getting to a union, be very perceptive of behavior traits, because those are the things that will actually make you guys break up. If you already see someone moving shady at the beginning, they're shady. They're not going to change. Start from that point. But the thing is, sometimes I guess that shadiness is the exciting element.
Yeah.
He's mysterious. He's exciting. He's outgoing. What. I don't know. Whatever. It depends what actually attracts you to the person. But then there are certain things where your gut will tell you that something's off. Something's off. So you just have to be very careful, And, look, I feel like ultimately in life, there's good people and there's bad people, right? And that's just something just to be very conscious about. Because, like, the truth is there's a lot of dudes who are trash, right? That's just a fact.
Men are trash.
A lot, right? But I could also say the same about women. Because I've had also experiences like that,
Oh, have you been
I had funny enough, I think a similar situation. But then this was first year. But I'm also kind of a villain in this situation. I didn't cheat, but I think it's the mentality I got into the relationship with, which is wrong. So the whole thing was there was a extremely pretty girl in my class, and I was like, yeah, guys, I gotta get her, And for me, it was kind of like a joke thing. But then when I actually approached and stuff like that, and she liked that I made music and stuff like that, she was like, yo, okay, now we're in a relationship. But then
it's my guitar.
Yeah, it's my guitar. But then now I hadn't thought about the fact that no, I'm actually in a relationship. This person isn't a human being, not a trophy, not like a conquest, So the thing is, she was actually way more serious, and I was just kind of caught up in the hype. So then now, obviously, because maybe I was neglecting her and stuff like that, she started moving with her ex and stuff like that, just randomly posting, dude, without us talking, And I was mad at the time. I was like, oh, which one is this one? But then, who's the one who started it, right? But then for me, it was yo, I'm not actually stepping out of the relationship with anyone else, I may be caught up in this life, but I would actually do make time for her and stuff like that. I can't say I was the perfect boyfriend, but then it's not like I was out. But then now, she was posting on the statuses and stuff. I'm like,
the reaction isn't matching the crime.
Exactly.
What's happening?
What's going on? If it was I was out there moving mad, I would understand it's a retaliation, but then, so I feel both of us had a part to play at that point in time. And when it eventually ended, and also I made a very bad mistake because I was dating someone who's in my class. So I had to see this person every day, and everyone else is now invested because it's you guys, so it becomes a bit hectic.
Can I pose a question?
Yeah.
At what point does someone become your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Do you wait until you're asked? So if you're a girl, do you wait until someone actually says you are now my girlfriend? Or is it a vibe thing where you say, I think we're dating, I think that's my boyfriend, I'm not sure, maybe, we go on dates and, he buys me things and he does things for me. Because I feel that also sometimes the reason why people move the way that they move is because there isn't that clarity, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're together, but you haven't actually asked me to be your girlfriend. So, and also, do you wait? As a hun, do you wait until do you ask them, are you my boyfriend? How does that work?
I feel like people who keep it ambiguous do it on purpose. I think I also had to grow up a little bit to really learn that, because when you're young, it seems fun, oh no, it's just vibes, and vibes are enough, because you think, okay, well, based on actions and whatever. But I think as I've grown, I think it's important for people to just say what they're saying. Let's not play around. And the asking, I feel like, please shoot me the day I say, oh, what are we? Because already, if you're there, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because someone you want to be with someone who knows what they want. Right? And the first test of do you know what you want is saying what you want. If they're not saying what they want, it's two reasons. Either they don't know what they want,
or they don't want you.
Or they'd rather keep it this way, where you're just there and there's no accountability, but then all the fun, all the vibes. Both of those things, to me, it's just like, it's not worth it. I think when you're young and impressionable, it you kind of go with it, and but at some point you realize that we're just making excuses for nonsense. Like, if someone wants to be with you, then they should come and tell you they want to be with you.
Amen.
And then you guys agree with what you're doing. But once you're moving, it's just like moving without a contract. That's just the same risk. Because
the other party will repudiate.
By me giving you money, you assume that, oh no, obviously we've agreed this and that. Only when things go wrong do you say, but
where is the contract?
Yeah.
Where did we sign?
Yeah, if anything, I've learned also, hey, vibes are not anything to go by. Because, like, I feel like I wasted, like, almost 2 years of my life just, like, spending time with someone. Like, we're all kind of, like, as if something is happening or something's about to happen, but it doesn't happen. But then it's like, where are we going?
2 years.
Okay, not 2. I'd say almost, Ka. Ish.
2.
Almost. Maybe like a year and a half.
I feel like this conversation needs a part 2.
Amen.
Yeah, so we'll do a part 2 at some point. Keep tuned, keep listening for part 2. That has some facts.
Okay. So, sorry. So, okay. Fun facts for this week.
Why are you dying?
I don't know. Okay. So, here is fun facts for this episode. In Japan, okay. So there's the G7. I don't know if you guys know what the G7 is, but there is, the countries in G7 are France, Germany,
there's actually 7 countries.
Italy, Japan, the UK, the US, and Canada. There's 7.
Okay.
It's 7 countries, right? So the G7 recently held a women's empowerment meeting on women's empowerment and gender equality. It is aimed at addressing sexual violence, LGBTQ rights, and economic balance, wage gap, and boosting women's representation in executive and managerial positions. Right. So these 7 countries came together, and guess what Japan did? Japan sent a man.
Okay, no.
Japan sent one of its cabinet ministers. His name is Osanobu Ogura, right? And he also chaired the meeting because the meeting was held in Japan, right? So everybody else sent a woman. Japan was the only country that had a man. And he says that male leaders with strong enthusiasm for gender equality are also necessary in the conversation of women empowerment and gender equality. Okay, so about Japan, it is ranked 125th out of 146 countries in the latest Global and Gender Gap Index by the World Economic Forum. And it's the lowest of the GD7 countries. Germany is ranked 6th, the UK is ranked 15th, France 40, the US 43, and Italy 79. Right. So the chat is just that because we are talking about women issues and gender equality, do men matter in the conversation? Because I want to be fair, I want to say yes.
That requires an episode on its own.
I want to say yes. Yes, because what is the point of women fighting for gender equality, for all of these things without men being involved in the conversation?
Yeah, I agree with you. But he shouldn't have been chairing that meeting.
Period.
I think maybe if it was like a panel.
Yeah.
And then led by a woman, and then have men as part of that perspective.
Like the episode today.
MNV.
Like the episode today. Okay, moving on, real swiftly along. So there's this lady in Italy, right? And she, get this, she's a teacher in Italy. She has missed 20 out of 24 years of work. Right? She's been taking all her vacation, all her holidays, all her compassion leave, all her sick leaves, all of that. And she's missed 20 out of 24 years of teaching. Right? So she got fired, took the school to court, and she said she has the right to teach. Teachers have rights to teach and they can't take them away from teachers. So she shouldn't have been fired. Then she got reinstated and she went back to her nonsense. And then they fired her again. So in a recent court proceeding, the judge says, well, students have a right to be taught. So because you missed 20 out of 24 years of work, you are no longer allowed. So now she can't be a teacher anywhere in Italy, which means obviously like her livelihood is gone. But the judge has decided that she can no longer, she's not a fit teacher, because also when she did show up to teach, she was on her phone the whole time. She was not prepared the whole time. And she used to borrow her students' books because she didn't bring her own material.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm just.
I don't even know what was
I'm
happening.
flabbergasted.
Oh, and her name is Giancia Paolina De Leo.
I'm shook.
Yeah,
Props to her for taking her
I was gonna
days.
say, take your days, guys. Hey, take your days.
I mean, that's it.
Thank you. Ciao.